Hey guys, we want to talk about Goliath V2 or GV2 as we're calling it for short. Now the cool thing about this program is that it is something that you're going to pretty much build yourself. All right, we're going to provide the structure, which is going to be a 50-50 split of strength and conditioning, or I should say hypertrophy more specifically. But you get to pick the exercises. So what that means is that you can pick exercises based on preference, based on injury or limitations, based on equipment, or knowledge and the ability to correctly execute certain exercises. So it's pretty much appropriate for anyone, a very new athlete who's got limited experience and limited equipment, all the way to the very experienced athlete who has access to a full gym like we have here in Austin, Texas, okay? It is gonna be a 6-day microcycle, which means our structure is 6 days. We're gonna repeat that 5 times for 30 total sessions. It'll take us 6 weeks, okay? Assuming you're training 5 days per week like we are here in the gym. All right, the way the structure looks is hypertrophy 1, conditioning, hypertrophy 2, conditioning, hypertrophy 3, and then finishing with a 6th conditioning session, 3 conditioning sessions, 6 sessions overall for that microcycle. And then what's gonna happen is that we're gonna apply a conditional progression to our hypertrophy circuits moving forward in the 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, etc. as we move through the program. Now the structure for the hypertrophy is gonna remain the same throughout the entire program. We're gonna have a warm-up, and then we're gonna pair horizontal pressing with horizontal pulling, vertical pressing with vertical pulling. Our squat and hinge will be together, and our lunge will be by itself because the bilateral movement can be a little more taxing. Okay, we're gonna follow a format of 4 rounds, one every 2.5 minutes, and that's gonna be carried forward throughout the program. The difference is when we initially start at 8s, based on conditional progressions and whether or not you pass them, you could be going to 9s, 10s, 11s, up to 12, so the volume will progress based on your ability as we move forward. We're gonna use something called the 2+2 rule on that. Watch that video because it's gonna explain how that's gonna work. Now, a couple things to make note of when you're picking your exercises. You need to pick exercises that complement each other well, based on how taxing they are, low back, as well as equipment, all right? So for example, right here on our squat hinge, you probably would not want to do barbell back squat with deadlifts, all right? 2 barbells are required, it's gonna take up more space, and they're both very, very taxing compound exercises. You can definitely use those exercises, but we would suggest back squats here and deadlifts there, and then doing something like a single leg RDL here, and then maybe a kettlebell front squat here. So make sure you pick exercises that work well together, that aren't gonna be logistically very challenging and extremely, extremely taxing, okay? Another thing to think about is the body weight exercises. So body weight exercises will be appropriate for some athletes. If you're able to do 60 or 70 push-ups in 2 minutes, the push-up's not gonna be a good exercise for you to use for a horizontal press or a horizontal push. You're probably gonna need to use bench press or use dumbbells or some type of external loading. But if you're a heavier athlete, for example, maybe a jump squat by itself is gonna be taxing enough, or a Rick Sanchez, because you have extra mass and extra weight. Ladies, the push-up might be perfectly appropriate for y'all. But if you're a younger, thinner, stronger guy, you're probably gonna need to stick to the loaded exercises to make sure they're challenging enough. I think that generally covers overall the big picture. If you guys have any questions, shoot us an email. Make sure you watch the 2+2 video so that way you understand how the progression is going to work moving forward.